Hello again, everyone. Edwin Learnard back once again. In this YouTube astrological segment, I'm going to be giving you my Aries February 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And yes, this does apply and pertain to the Sun, Moon, and Ascendant. Anyway, first thing up is as far as February goes, Mars will be in Sagittarius from the 1st until the 16th. So the ninth house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, situation with in-laws, grandchildren may be a little bit more acrimonious and contentious than usual. Even perhaps people with dealings with foreigners may be as well, or in some religious congregation or college, university. Those situations with those people may be a little bit more contentious than usual, but and it may be arguments over it might be philosophical differences, matters connected with religion, the law. Um, and ones that have a lot of that Sagittarius veritable truth, a lot of blunt energy. But if you're unattached on the positive side, if you're unattached at this time, Aries, you may connect with a Sagittarius Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Sagittarius characteristics. It might be somebody that figures prominently in your philosophical outlook. It could be a foreigner. It might be somebody you may have met at a college, university, or in some ninth house venue such as publishing. This could also be a time too where you might be putting a lot of energy and vitality into some Sagittarius publishing or higher education matter. It could be something connected. Could be something associated with religion or sports or the outdoors, the law, anything that could be Sagittarius related, translation, something associated with foreigners such as foreign travel or traveling abroad. You might, if you're going to some college, university, you might be learning something connected with publishing, the law, religion, philosophy, something sports related. Again, anything that could be Sagittarius related. So anyway, the next thing up is Mars will be in Capricorn as far as February goes, from the 16th until the 29th. So the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, a situation with authority figures, the dominant parent, which is often the father, people prominent in your career, may be more contentious and acrimonious than usual. There may be arguments that might be connected with responsibilities. It could be over. There might be ones that are very serious at this time, and they might be very. I mean, Capricorn energy could be very constant and consistent as well, or maybe over lack of structure or discipline. Those can be arguments at this time, or even career-related matters. If it's an argument, say with the dominant parent, which is often the father, or it could even be with other people that are prominent in your career. And they might be criticism regarding your vocation, where you're at, and just in stature in life, anything that could be Capricorn related. And given at this time as well, if you're unattached at this time, Aries, you may connect with a Capricorn Sun, Moon, or Ascendant person, or simply one that embodies Capricorn traits. And it may be somebody that might be prominent in your career, your public image, your reputation. Maybe an older person, somebody that may be in business. And might be also a lot of energy and vitality, very consistent energy and vitality into doing something. You could be doing something Capricorn related as far as your career goes. It could be something with dentistry or accounting, computer programming, something with dentistry, something business related at this time, or it could be doing something with masonry, anything that could be Capricorn related. So anyway, next thing up, Jupiter will still be in Capricorn, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, as I've talked about in previous videos, Jupiter can be rather paradoxical. It could be very strongly benign and benevolent, but it could also have a tendency to enlarge and expand. Now, in some cases, this might enlarge and expand responsibilities. It could be, but it could also limitations, even restrictions in career-related matters, and even matters with the dominant parent, which is often the father. Could be with your public image, your reputation, authority figures, business-related matters, but and even depressive energy in connection with that as well. Capricorn is a sign connected with those things that are about being melancholy and despondency. It's really, but at the same time, this could also be very auspicious for a Capricorn type career venture, such as something with dentistry or business or politics, something with the government, masonry, information, technology, accounting, anything that could be Capricorn related. But it's also a time where you might be injecting a lot of humor and in matters with 10th house related people, such as the dominant parent, which is often the father. And also, it could be a very good, very auspicious period for structure and discipline in dealings with the dominant parent, in dealings with your career-related matters, and in attaining really maybe perhaps a greater stature in life, your social status, gaining notoriety and recognition. It can enlarge consistency and very methodical energy in trying to attain these things at this time. So anyway, next thing up. Well, Saturn will still be in Capricorn, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. Now, at this time, well, you might find yourself taking care of a sickly or debilitated dominant parent, which is often the father or someone prominent in your career. And it could be something Capricorn related, such as something with the knees, the bones, the joints, the hamstrings, and maybe making you feel somewhat despondent and melancholy at this time. And the thing too is, though, it could also be a time too for you where this could be about more responsibilities in terms of your career, trying to attain, trying to keep a certain public image, your reputation at this time, and also in dealings in matters with authority at this time as well. So anyway, another way this could manifest and pan out. This could also be a lot of laborious, consistent effort at this time in the 10th house matters. Again, in terms of your stature in life, gaining notoriety, gaining recognition. In matters that are career related, in matters with your vocation, in dealings with the dominant parent, which is often the father. So those are some ways this could manifest and pan out. And older people might figure more prominently in these 10th house matters at this time as well. So anyway, well, the next thing up is Uranus will be in Taurus at this time. So the second house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, this could manifest in a number of ways. You might be dealing with some unusual, stubborn, obstinate behavior from people you generate your income with, or people that are prominent in your possessions, your resources. It could also be a time too on a positive, and you might be doing something Uranus related as far as generating income, such as doing something with innovation, ingenuity, aerospace, astronomy, astrology in some cases, even rocket science in some interests. It could, in some instances, something with computers, electronics at this time. And at this time as well, another way this may manifest, it could be that your financial situation may be a little bit more erratic and sporadic, more so than usual. You might be dealing with some financial fluctuations, but it could also show a lot of, at this time, really some unpredictability in regards with your possessions, your resources. It might be about purchasing, you might be involved in purchasing, buying, and selling more things at this time than usual that are associated with computers, electronics, and new technology at this time. And you might be, and at this time as well, something Uranus-like may figure prominently in your self-esteem and self-worth and how you feel about yourself, such as expressing ingenuity, expressing new ideas, new concepts, being innovative, innovative, and maybe even humanitarianism, and really and just maybe being proficient in something with computers or electronics at this time. So those are some ways that this could manifest and pan out. So hold on a moment, people. Sorry about that, I'm back. Anyway, next thing up is, well, Neptune will still be in Pisces, so the 12th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, one way this may manifest and pan out, well, sometimes it could be about deception and being duplicitous might lead to one's self-undoing at this time, and also guard against doing something Neptune related, which might lead to some incarceration, such as something with drugs or alcohol or some kind of crime of deception, such as identity theft or anything fraudulent or deceptive in general, money laundering. It could also be a time too where this could be about having, at this time, I mean, you look at this where you're talking about, the 12th house in astrology, and I mean, Neptune, it could be certain things that you do. I mean, 12th house could be about, solitude, seclusion, and Neptune energy. Well, this could be something where maybe you're doing something Neptune-like in solitude, seclusion. It could be doing something with poetry or dancing, or something with chemistry, photography, something with the metaphysical, which includes astrology. It could also be a time too where you might be expressing a lot of self-sacrificing energy in terms of helping those less fortunate than yourself, such as the impoverished, the oppressed, the homeless, and the hungry at this time. And it could be in some cases where this could be about, I mean, it could go one or two ways. I mean, it could be about the dissolving or dissipation of hidden adversaries at this time, or it could also be about where these hidden enemies might be very nebulous and very unclear and hard to decipher, who your true friends are from the ones that are actually posing as friends or hidden enemies. A lot of this could be predicated and dependent on, of course, on aspects that are made to points in your chart. A sextile trine to your natal Jupiter, these people might be, more auspicious in terms of getting really, as far as that dissolving of these dissipation of these hidden enemies, people that might just drift out of your life that are posing as friends. But it could also be at a time too, if it's making an adverse aspect to your natal Saturn, it might even it might be about more difficulty in having to work harder, more laboriously in terms of trying to see these people that are really posing as friends but are in actuality hidden enemies. So anyway, last but not least, Pluto will still be in Capricorn, so the 10th house is what will be emphasized and highlighted. So at this time, well, this could manifest in a number of ways. I know a lot of you don't want me to say the dreaded D word, but I'm going to anyway. Now, in some cases, this could be about the actual or literal death of the dominant parent, which is often the father. It could be someone prominent in your career or your public image, your reputation. Say if you have some kind of promoter, it might be a business person you know well, or an older person at this time. It could also be, and I mean, Capricorn energy, even though this is generational planetary energy, it might be making you feel more despondent and more melancholy than usual if you are dealing with a death at this time. But on a positive note, it could also be about doing something plutonian related as far as your career goes, such as something with nuclear physics, astrology, the occult, supernatural, recycling, insurance. It could be something with transformation, such as rebuilding vehicles, or doing something connected with like a death profession, like working as a coroner or a mortician or a funeral director. It could also be, in some cases, sadly, about the obliteration or destruction of one's reputation and public image at this time. But at the same time, Remember that Pluto is also about rebirth and regeneration, and it's transforming energy. If something is really, it could indicate where you might deal with a situation where your public image and reputation might be destroyed, but it can always be revived again, and it may be, and it could be something where in some cases this could be about the transformation of one's career. It could be about where one career figuratively dies, but then you might get another one shortly afterwards. So it's really, that's what Plutonian energy can be about. Could be about transforming energy. So anyway, could also guard against power struggles with 10th house people, such as the dominant parent, which is often the father or older people prominent in your career. It could be just some people that you may know that figure prominently in your public image, your reputation at this time, and it might be about trying to attain power at this time in terms of gaining notoriety and recognition, and power in this for you may be going hand in hand at this time. So anyway, people, that'll conclude this YouTube astrological segment for my Aries February 2020 horoscope forecast part 2 of 2. And stay tuned next time where I'll be giving you my Taurus February 2020 horoscope forecast part 1 of 2. Until next time, people, Edwin Learnard saying stay well.